everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, May 18th, 2025. Amanda Sinclair, Aristotle Dumas, A for Amanda, A for Aristotle, A for attorney. I don't know why we didn't see it before. It's so obvious. Wow. Okay, well, welcome back, Michelle Morgan, looking beautiful in that pink lace. Ooh. Does anybody know how long she is going to be sticking around? I have no idea. I tried looking it up and I don't know. Is this like a quickie temporary visit, or is she sticking around for the long haul of this story? I don't know. The fact that she is in the mix now definitely makes me more suspicious, because she was way too reassuring to Lillian, Devon, and Nate, and way too complimentary to all of them. Oh, no. Aristotle is definitely not interested in Winters. He's just personally offended on Billy's behalf. Really? Because I wasn't even offended on Billy's behalf. What is there to take offense to? Jill was the owner of that company. She had every right to sell it. Why would some mysterious billionaire care at all about a mother-son squabble unless it's someone who knew him? If it even is a him. I mean, anything Amanda said might as well be untrue. I don't feel like we can necessarily trust it. That entire thing could just be a smoke bomb. Personally offended for Billy. Give me a break. I will tell you what personally offended me. Amanda going around the table talking about how much Aristotle respects each and every member of the Winters family, including Neil. All of them. Individually. She just went right around the table listing all of the schmaltzy ways that Nate and Devon and Lily are amazing. That was so cheesy and just so unbelievable. It just ripped any credence right out from under her. Apparently, Aristotle Dumas is also omniscient now. In addition to being wildly rich and mysterious, he also knows all and sees all and feels the need to give his approval or disapproval on your actions, and then rewards or punishes you accordingly. It was so gross. It felt a little beneath us. I just don't see how the whole Aristotle Dumas story is going to work out well or be satisfying. I feel like Y&R, for as thick as they've laid it on and for as long as they've dragged it out, I just think that they are not going to be able to deliver on this in a satisfying way after all of this buildup, after all of these months. And as much as I love Michelle Morgan, throwing Amanda into the mix now is not going to change that. It was nice to see Amanda and Phyllis have their little reunion on Friday. I loved the way they girl screamed at each other. That felt very real. It felt very much like besties who haven't seen each other in a long while. Just so excited that they don't care if the whole restaurant heard them. But here, I thought that Phyllis and Sharon were gonna be the besties now, but apparently all of that life or death bonding is on the way out the window over Nick. Oh, I'm sorry, Sharon. Is Nick not allowed to have a private conversation with Phyllis? He went to Milan with your family, but he's not allowed to help Phyllis talk through her problems, maybe give her a hug, offer her some support, some lifting up. I mean, what's up with that? Jealous much? Sharon was so jealous. And it was so obvious, and Phyllis couldn't wait to get out of there. She was just like, gotta text, gotta go. I wouldn't have expected the Sharon-Phyllis truce friendship to last forever, but I would have thought that it might have lasted a little longer. And if anyone was going to break it and go weird, I would have thought it was going to be Phyllis. She seemed to have the harder time embracing Sharon. She seemed to be the one who was having more of the post-Martin trauma. And I thought that Sharon could see that. I thought that Sharon was coming back from her trip refreshed, relaxed, maybe a little wiser, not coming back from this trip ready to pull hair the second Nick is talking to another woman. Maybe Sharon just needs to have a touch grass session with Sally. You know, to get herself rooted again. How do I say this? How do I want to put this? That scene was so cringy. Honestly, I almost couldn't watch it. I wanted to look away. Like, Sally making Billy take off his shoes in the middle of a public park? What kind of dominatrix move was that? Take off your shoes in this public park, put your feet on this gnarly grass just because I said so? Was it supposed to be romantic? It was supposed to be, oh, she understands what he needs. He's stressed, and so she's got to help him get grounded. Okay, but I found the whole thing to be borderline humiliating, honestly, because then Nick came into the scene and Billy's sitting there with his shoes off. It was humiliating. I could maybe see it if they were in their own private backyard, but in the public park? I don't know. Did anybody find that to be romantic? Find that to be charming? I mean, your significant other is seeming a little edgy. Just go ahead and try to make them kick off their shoes in public for a quick meditation session. I understand the concept, but all I can say is that she must be phenomenal in bed if Billy was willing to just go right along with it. And honestly, at the end of the day, Billy had better have gotten himself some ass after touching all of that grass. If Phyllis and Daniel are going into business together, I think it should be a business that trains people how to hack phones by simply knowing all of the important dates in someone's life. Wow! Now that is a skill. A teachable, a marketable skill. So it was just another routine snark fest between Phyllis and Billy and Sally. But then when Billy and Sally stepped aside to grab their to-go dessert, Phyllis grabbed Billy's phone off the table and ran away with it up to the lookout and hacked it. All I want to know is, does anyone know what all the important dates were that she tried? Somebody has to have sleuthed that out. Delia's birthday ended up being the one that worked, but what were the others? Maybe his wedding to Victoria? How would Phyllis know that? That makes my point perfectly. It's an untapped market, phone hacking, via knowing everything about someone right down to the dates of their anniversaries and children's birthdays. Do you know anyone else's child's birthday? I don't. But yeah, Phyllis was able to see some messages between Billy and Dumas and get Dumas' phone number and take a photo of it with her own phone and then sneak back to the restaurant before Billy came back for it. The best part was when she popped into the restroom to watch him discovering his phone. I mean, was anybody else's mind blown when the door swung open? I mean, that restroom might as well be the gate to heaven, because it opened up and I was like, ah. I don't think that door has ever opened before. That was one of the most notable things of the week, the restroom door swinging open and Phyllis being in it. And I got a great screenshot of her spying from the right out of the restroom door. So go to yrchat.com. You don't want to miss that photo caption this week. I also have to say I really loved the sneaky reveal of how she was listening to them in the first place. Billy and Sally were chatting away, and he was saying that he is not trying to get Chancellor back. He's just trying to help along the chaos and let Victor and Dumas go after each other. And then the camera just slowly panned out and Phyllis was standing there eavesdropping. I thought that was great. That is how you do it. You know, that's how you do a fun soapy reveal. Whoever came up with that, they nailed it. Nailed it. Yeah, Phyllis took the information that she got from Billy's phone straight to Victor, but didn't really get very far. She actually tried to pull an Audra and asked Victor to fund a business for her and Daniel in exchange for the info. What? Are you kidding me right now? Really? Nobody just wants $1 million check? They all just want business funding? I don't know. I guess that's a sign of the times. What happened to the $1 million check? I mean, Phyllis didn't even know what kind of business deal she wanted. Do you want to start a media company? You want to sell jewelry? You want to start a hot dog cart? I don't know. Victor basically told her, just come to me when you know what you want. And then Phyllis decided to take it upon herself to just call Dumas directly. Oh, sure. After all these weeks of build-up on this mysterious character, Phyllis, can you just go ahead and get this guy on the phone now? The ridiculous dragging out of the Aristotle Dumas thing has got to end. It has got to end. But I do find the Billy versus Victor feud to be very entertaining this time around. I mean, last week Victor told Billy, tell me everything about Dumas and I won't bury you in bad press. And then this week Billy said, you know what? I'm not afraid of you, big bad wolf. You can just go right ahead, huff and puff all you want. I know who I am. I am not afraid to fail. But I am not going to. And I liked that. Everything just on the up and up, out in the open, an open rivalry between them. The one I'm worried about, though, is Adam. Adam is walking a tightrope. After Billy defied Victor, Victor told Adam to go ahead with the media onslaught. But Adam has got Chelsea's voice of conscience in his ear, Chelsea's guilt over the Billy thing in his ear, telling him not to do it. So now Adam has decided to go against Victor's wishes and just try to smooth the situation out for himself, which is a recipe for disaster for Adam. I don't know what makes him think he's going to be able to skate out of that. It's going to have bad repercussions for Adam either way. I did love, though, how Victor at least understood the position that Adam was in. Victor at least understood that Chelsea was against the whole thing, and he was very aware that he was putting Adam into a bad position. He just didn't care. He basically just offered a solution to the whole thing, which was expensive tequila. I'll just go ahead and expensive tequila over this situation, pouring one out. He sent a couple of beautiful glasses over to their table after basically telling Adam to mist Chelsea. He said, missed Chelsea, and then Victor followed up with a nice example of how to do it. A fancy drink, some compliments, and, a toast. Oh, you're such a great design. You're going to do such great work at Newman Media. Give her what she wants. Tell her what she wants to hear. Pump her up, fluff her up, and maybe she'll shut up and just go along to get along. Hey, welcome back to the family. The boss lady is back. And I'm talking about Amy, the real one in charge, the new matriarch of the Winters Hastings family. Who would have seen that coming? Honestly, she is large and in charge, and I love her. And she arrived just in time to see Damien coming on board at the Winters family business too. He's in the family business. Early in the week, Damien sat right underneath the portrait of Neil, fluffed up Lily's feathers, and told her exactly what she wanted to hear, which was, yes, woman, I will put my feet in the grass for you. Yes, woman, I will do everything you want and more. And then she said, good boy. Pat, pat. I don't know. That dynamic is either completely on the level, or Y&R Chat Steven is completely correct and Damien is playing Lily and playing them all masterfully, and I cannot decide which. I think we should put a poll on it this week. I want to know if you guys think Damien is legit or if he's playing the Winters Hastings crew. Go to yrchat.com this week and let me know. Are you trusting all of this obedience out of Damien? I mean, I would say no, absolutely not. I don't trust it, except it seems to be like this pattern of, that Y&R is developing. Like the guy just has to fluff the girl up, do whatever she says in order to stay with her. I don't know. But if he is playing them, again, either Amy is in on it too, which I think I've ruled out, or she's going to be very mad. If he's not on the up and up, Mother Amy is going to be furious. And then I think Nate might just be madder. I mean, Nate did not like the idea of Damien risking himself, his career, risking anything over this whole double agent idea, but he also is not going to stand in the way of it. And he's also not going to let it stand in the way of him developing a real relationship with his brother. So Nate welcomed Damien into the fold, and they shook on it. And then later, when everything falls apart, Nate can have his very first big brother. I told you so. Which do women want more? To feel sexy while making a man want her? Or a lipstick that turns into a brooch? I don't know about you, but I picked the brooch. That's just me. Maybe that should have been the poll question for the week. Again, I ask you, would it have been too much to ask to see the damn brooch? I mean, if they were so popular in the 50s and Diane is working on bringing it back for Jabot Classic, then surely she would have a prototype to show us. Why doesn't Y&R show us anything anymore? Go on eBay, grab one, show it. I went on eBay searching for it, and I couldn't find anything that even sounded like it. Like, I can't, my head is having a hard time wrapping itself around the concept. I can find lipstick cases that have mirrors also, but I don't find any brooches. So, I mean, does this whole thing even exist? Is it something that Y&R made up? Either way, it sounds fancy, and I want to see it. This is potentially the most exciting thing to me, and it's just getting swept under the rug. I think it's a really fun contrast idea to really see and flesh out Diane's Jabot Classic, and then let it compete against Audra's hip, new super product. Like, I want to see that clash, but will we ever actually see anything? The answer is no. So in the meantime, I'm enjoying the fashions. I mean, Audra's summery mint green dress with those orange brush strokes. I don't know. She looked like, I don't know, like, what is it, a mimosa or something? She looked like a beautiful tropical orange and champagne drink with a sprig of mint on the side of the rim. She looked beautiful. She looked almost a little more tan, maybe a little streak of blonde in her hair. The outfit was stunning. Stunning. And I tell you, I am gearing up and starting to like the idea of the Kyle Audra cat and mouse. It's interesting too for a cat and mouse because everyone knows it's happening. Kyle told Diane and Jack that he knows Victor's the one behind and funding Audra's venture, and that he's going to go undercover trying to find out what she's doing. But he also told Claire about the plan to get close to Audra. Claire seemed to not like it. Next week she's going to say she doesn't like it even more, but he's going to reassure her, no, it's not in that way. Nothing's going on in that way. So it's interesting that everyone knows the game is afoot. Even Holden knows the game is afoot. So, like, I don't know how exactly this is going to end up blowing up in everyone's face, because we know it will, but yet I'm intrigued by wondering how it's all going to go down, because the only way that I can think of that's really possible is if something really does happen between Kyle and Audra. And I'm for it. And yet at the same time, I really do sympathize with Claire. And I think that's a complete credit to Haley Aaron, the actress who plays her, because it would be so cringy in real life to, think about this grown woman caring this much about her grandfather's opinion, but I get it. And I think it's because Kyle and Claire had a conversation in the park this week, and Claire explained, or I got the essence from Claire, that it's not really as much about Victor as it is about her. They had this lovely talk in our lovely park early in the week, and Claire was explaining how she respects Victor. She respects his life story. And Victor embracing her into his family gives her a sense of belonging for the first time in her entire life. And she doesn't want to destroy that. And she is willing to slow down their plans to prevent it. But she also did admit to Nikki and Victoria that there's something in her that doesn't feel entirely comfortable with how fast things were moving, which adds another layer of complication. Claire wants to slow things down, not just to appease Victor, but because something is tugging at her. And so Kyle agrees to slow it all down, but then the question begs, how long is Kyle going to be content to wait? Did Mariah seriously walk away right in the middle of her heartfelt conversation with Tessa? That is wholly and completely unfair to Tessa and to us. I was so mad at Mariah. And I don't think Tessa is mad enough. Tessa was standing there blaming herself for everything that happened during the latest round of Ian Ward. And Mariah just let her go on and on until she finally stopped her at the very end saying, "It's not you, it's me." But then Mariah refused to elaborate any further, and she ultimately chose to walk away. Are you kidding me? I wanted Tessa to go after her. Mariah is clearly keeping a secret. She said as much, and she's just gonna let Tessa suffer, not knowing? That is cruel. The not knowing, the knowing that something is wrong, but the refusal to disclose is cruel. And I'm all for Mariah processing her feelings and coming to terms with whatever it is, but I'm sorry, time is up. Time's up. She's not making the situation any better by not answering Tessa's questions. She's in fact making it worse. The fact that now she's given Tessa a little means she needs to give it all over. If she had kept everything in tight and was still working through her processing, that's one thing. But she's let some of it slip, and now it's time to tell. I wanted Tessa to run after her and shake her and say, "You either tell me right now or I am walking out, because this is unfair. I am your partner, and if you can't be honest with me, then what do we even have left?" And also, I can't believe you would stretch this out a whole nother week to the fans. You sound like you're 12. I thought that was a fun little micro moment during the show this week. You sound like you're 12. Who do you think said that? If you are absolutely dying to know, you should go to yrchat.com and find out. Let's read some comments, starting with Stephen, who says, "Has anyone checked in on Cole lately? After that cough, I fear rigor mortis may have set in." Yeah, apparently Cole is in isolation, and he doesn't want anyone to see him. He thinks he's contagious, so he doesn't want anyone coming near him. I mean, what's the deal? Is it possible at all that maybe Cole is not dying and this was just meant to buy some time. Let's, give Cole the flu. He's got to be in isolation for a couple weeks, and then we don't have to deal with his character for a little while because we got so much other stuff going on. Or is it part of a larger problem? I don't know. I mean, none of it didn't sound deathly. So, I don't know. When are they going to get to it? Maybe in another couple of weeks. Or, I mean, if we are working on Aristotle Dumas time, it could be a couple of months. Gary says, a secret agent brooch, which is actually a hidden lipstick with a mirror. Wow. Now let's see that come down the assembly line. Yes, please. Yes, please, on the secret agent brooch. I love that idea. It's so many things. It's a lipstick holder, it's a mirror, and it's a brooch. Whew, it's a lot. Talk about revolutionary. Naomi says, when Audra described how she knows what women want, yeah, Ashley may be good, but she's not me. Love it. She made Kyle's heart skip a beat more than once during their little exchange. Kyle better remember that she can be treacherous as well as irresistible. I'm enjoying her so much. Yeah, I mean, when was the last time Ashley was in the lab doing anything innovative? Let's get Audra into a lab. Let's quickie her up a chemistry degree. Oh, Russell says, so it looks like they're going to file the Summer character away using a new love interest in Italy. I suppose she'll be so rapt she will not return to Genoa City. I know they have to come up with something, but there is no way the character we knew would abandon her feelings for Kyle, and especially not Harrison. Maybe if they return the character when Harrison is older, then he can have an abandonment issue to play off for years. Harrison has always been a happy child, but now he's had two mothers abandon him. Russell, it occurred to me this week that I wonder if the shows that we are seeing now were maybe filmed during a period of time where we didn't know what was going to happen with Allison Lanier's contract. Maybe they sent her off to Italy while there was some window of maybe we can make this work, maybe we can't. And so then maybe within the next couple of weeks, we'll see the point where it didn't work out, she's got to go. And then we'll see the pivot into whatever the new direction for her character will be. Sue W. says, I do expect Kyle and Summer to one day reconcile in true love. But I'm enjoying the Kyle-Claire pairing, except just for now, she's too good for him, as Audra will hopefully, for soapy fun, eventually prove. So in the meantime, sure, Summer can have flings, but never, no way, no how would Summer ever abandon Harrison or even be away from him for long. That would be a major and very disappointing, not to mention unbelievable, shift in her character. So when's the new Summer coming? Yikes, I hope they don't kill her off or geez, put her in a never-ending coma. What you gonna do about this, Y&R? That is the question. What they gonna do about it? I think it's gonna be revealed. I think my theory is not a bad one. I bet we're gonna see what their decision is coming down the pike here in the next couple of weeks. Well, last week I asked you guys if you support Sally and Chelsea's career move into media. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. 91% of you said no, this is not a good career move for either Sally or Chelsea. Marianne V says, I voted no. Sally and Chelsea both love fashion. It took a lot to get to work for Marchetti. They shouldn't give up to work with Billy and Adam. Chelsea's already having a problem with how Adam runs Newman Media. How he does everything Victor wants. How he does his dirty work. Billy will be no different. Will do anything to get back at Victor. Yeah, and it just puts the ladies with no real career path of their own. I mean, or just no real ambition of their own. Or maybe Y&R's going to work that in something. Connie says, I didn't approve of their hasty decisions and would have counseled them both to take their time before leaving a job they loved for a risky business adventure with a romantic partner. My soap or real life advice would be followed up with support for the choice they made. Oh, that's very good, Connie. It's especially risky for Sally, given the fact that it is a startup. I mean, at least Newman Media has been around for a few years. But Tony voted yes to Sally and Chelsea's career decision. The question put to us, do you support Sally and Chelsea's career move? Singular. Move. I think that's the direction the story is going. Sally and Chelsea quit Marchetti at the same time, and after reflection, neither is 100% convinced it was their best choice. So I expect them to get together to form something, making it one move forward in business. Yeah, that'd be I wish they would just both go, I'm over this, let's start something together, and then that we would actually see it. Speaking of things we don't see, I want Aristotle Dumas. I just wish we would get over this annoying name, and I wish we would get to this annoying character. Daisy says, I'm so happy to see Amanda back. Hopefully a lot of different storylines will come with her, starting with, to me, what she said really sounds like Dumas is Tucker. I think he had a falling out with Devon, so I can see him using a fake name until he feels ready to reach out again. Hopefully, though, with Amanda's return, we'll find out who Dumas is soon. Also, maybe Amanda can offer Phyllis a position. She really needs something new in her life. Otherwise, I wonder if she's going to snap and go after Billy. Yeah, no doubt. And that was my thought, too. The whole time that conversation was going on, I was thinking, it's got to be Tucker. That's the only thing that would impress me at this point. Trevor St. John back. That's the only thing that I would actually feel impressed about. Victoria says, Lily is always well dressed, but today she looked exceptional. From her hair to her dress, she was giving me Grace Kelly vibes. So classy. I mean, Victoria, I was like, did she seriously wear that beautiful gown to this random business meeting? I mean, she looked like she was going to a gala. The screenshot for that episode on my Paramount Plus showed Lily in the gown. And when I saw the screenshot, my first thought was, ooh, is this the press launch party? I thought we were at a party or something. She looked so elegant for just a meeting with Dumas. Sharon W. says, there's a remote possibility that Aristotle Dumas is actually Aunt Mamie. Last time we saw her, she was really mad. I mean, yeah, Sharon W., this would be the only person, Mamie would be the only person who was connected to that original situation of the sale of Chancellor, who we know would have a vested interest in pissing off Jill by trying to reverse that whole decision. Mamie would be the only outsider that I could think of who it would make sense for it to be, if what Amanda said is correct. Well, Victoria says, we're all wondering who is Aristotle Dumas. These are some of the things we know. Number 1, he has a grudge against Victor. Number 2, he's encouraging Billy to take over Chancellor. Number 3, his name and business seem linked to an author and has literary references. Therefore, his motivation seems linked to betrayal, delayed revenge, and role reversal. Number 4, Damien is a figurehead and no one seems to have seen this elusive titan. Brooks Prentice, the son of Leslie and Lance Prentice, is a theory on the internet. He's a strong favorite due to the literary tie-ins with the family's former publishing business. Literary references aside, Lance lost Prentice Industries to Victor. Then Victor gave it to Lori as a gift to show his love for her. Brooks may be seeking revenge for his father. Michael Scott is someone I'm considering. He and Julia, Victor's wife, worked together. He was a photographer and Julia a model. Victor locked him in the bomb shelter because he thought Michael was the father of Julia's baby. Michael died in a suspicious car crash and Julia informed Victor about the death. I mean, you're going deep on those, Victoria. That's like real deep pulls into the past. That's too deep for me. Way back before I was ever watching. So yeah, and I wonder if that is something that would resonate with the fans, like an old pullback, Lance Prentice or Michael Scott. Yeah, I think my mind has definitely been more current, thinking about who the characters are that we've currently seen. But I don't know. I mean, is the answer even gonna be satisfying? Are we gonna get to the reveal? I mean, we know this Billy Flynn guy's coming on, and I heard he was gonna be the son. But, if it's a new guy, I think that's going to be disappointing. Even if Billy Flynn comes and he's Aristotle Dumas, I feel like that's going to be disappointing. There's just no winning for Y&R. They have made a mistake. They have made a mistake in pumping this up and dragging this out. One or the other is what they should have done. But they did both. They've reached a little too far and they've blown it. For me, anyway. New topic. T. Nicole says, Sharon, you acting weird. I understand she's jealous and feels threatened by the bond Nick and Phyllis have, but how she was asking questions and acting was so strange. Sharon actually asked Phyllis, who texted her like she thought that was a normal question between them. Yeah, who was that who texted you? It was too much. And Gary says, Sharon, when you fall upon your once bitter rival trying to steal your man again, you don't have to act so phony about it. There was just something so phony. Phony's a great word because it was so over the top that I was like, I can't tell if there's a part of her that is sincere. I don't know. Sharon's behavior was very strange. The way she was talking was very strange. That whole interaction just did not feel natural. Let's touch some grass. Sharon W. says, now I know this is just me, but the close your eyes touch grass in the middle of the public park where anyone can stop and stare as Sally instructed Billy to do would literally stress me out. Especially since I would prefer to know what is crawling in the grass before I step into it. I mean, I'm glad that it's not just me. The whole thing felt like a weird submission, a weird do what I say moment, even if it's weird. I mean, I also have a feet thing though. I would never put my feet to the grass. I mean, you'd have to work up some aversion therapy for me with that. Like, I cannot have dirty feet. So, I mean, maybe I'm being colored by that. But, I mean, like, this is the thing. Is it like a, if you love me, you'll do this? Are these two in love? Are Billy and Sally in love? Or, I mean, I know she saw it as genuinely trying to help him. But you're right. It would have genuinely stressed me out. Russell has a different perspective, though, saying, I'm glad Sally calmed Billy down. It was either that or drown him in Chancellor Pond. Close your eyes. Listen to the sound of the ducks. Listen to the sound of the water rushing. Now hold your breath because you're going to be drowned. Robin says, Sally's work attire. Black leather dress with push-up bra built in. Add in a black choker with a Heidi hairstyle. Maybe Billy should rename the company S&M Media. Yes! I mean, that's what I'm saying. She had the dominatrix outfit, and then she pulled the dominatrix touch grass move. Sharon W. says, bravo. It's only Monday, but the best acting award definitely goes to Billy and Daniel today for maintaining eye contact with Sally and Phyllis in their respective scenes. The best cleavage award in the past 6 months definitely goes to Sally and Phyllis. It was fun to see how the level of cleavage seemed to change from commercial to commercial. I'm reminded of an appearance by Zsa Zsa Gabor wearing a revealing top on the Johnny Carson show. When he came back from commercial, she was wearing a scarf across her chest over one shoulder. I freaking love Zsa Zsa Gabor. And I'm just picturing, I haven't had to look that clip up. Oh man, the cleavage changed from commercial to commercial. I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. I mean, that was like the moment of the week, the cleavage of the week. Diana says Michelle Stafford looks very bronze and tan. The makeup and bronzer she uses suits her and goes with her hair color and highlights while giving her a lovely tan glow. But having said that, my only criticism would be that I found Phyllis was showing a little too much cleavage in that dress. If she pulled the dress up just a little, I think it would look sexier. I don't think it looks as attractive when there's too much boob showing. I'm not sure how others feel about that, especially the men, but I think it would be sexier if there was more left to the imagination. The next scene, we saw Sally Spectra meeting Billy at Society, and right away I thought, what's going on in Genoa City? Holy boobs again! More booby cleavage! Sally was bearing it all in that dress. I don't think it looked sexy, but rather a little trashy. I'm sorry to say, I like it when Sally has a classier, softer look. Man, I can't remember Sally ever not having a trashy look, but ain't no doubt about it. I mean, did everybody knows what we're talking about right now. Everybody saw it. That was like the boobs heard round the world. The boobs seen round the world. That's a great reason if anybody hasn't tuned into Y&R lately. The boobs. It must have been a ratings grab strategy. They're like, hurry up quick. The fans are getting real tired of this whole Aristotle Dumas thing. Just let's slap some boobs on screen. It was a lot of boobs for one scene. 4 of them to be precise. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed this Y&R chat. If you are looking for a little more Y&R chat, you can go to yrchat.com. There's lots of stuff there. Probably some screen caps of those dresses too, if you look in the weekly photo collection. If you want a bonus pod, you can always go to genoacitysoap.com. That poolside episode might get you in the mood for summer. There's lots of fun summer, like back when we actually had pools, back when we actually were poolside. There's some fun clips from past Y&R chats there with all new content. So they're past Y&R clips, but I recorded a lot of new content to go in between them. So that's a fun listen if you haven't gone poolside yet. And I guess that's it. I guess that's the whole kit and caboodle. I'll be back next week. I love you guys. I hope you have a good one. Bye.